Two of the most powerful figures in Washington are on the Asian continent this morning. President Obama will wind down his week-long Asia trip today by visiting with South Korea's president, and the Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, is in Afghanistan for the inauguration of President Hamid Karzai. With us now to discuss the importance of both of these trips is CBS News foreign affairs analyst Pamela Falk. Good morning, Pam.
Good morning, Michelle.
So overall, how successful was President Obama's trip to Asia?
Well, it has been criticized to some degree. I saw it as a bit of a no pain, no gain. He didn't make any mistakes. On the other hand, he didn't, meaning President Obama, did not secure any major agreements, not on Iran, which he was looking for, and not on China's currency. So in a way, it goes back to the adage, you don't fight with your banker, and China is bankrolling the United States to the tune of $1 trillion. But in a way, he bent over backwards on the diplomacy front rather than just standing tall, and that may be perceived in China as a bit of weakness.
South Korea is a major U.S. ally, and he saved that trip for last, and he met with the leader of South Korea. Big issues were trade and North Korea. How did everything go there?
Well, on the trade issue, there was nothing resolved. President Lee is a great friend of President Obama, and President Obama brought him to the Rose Garden in an unusual trip. There are 28,000 U.S. troops there. It is an alliance that is very strong, and as you say, President Lee said he saved the best for last. They didn't come out with any concrete agreements on the trade issue. He was also warmly greeted in Japan on this trip. So on the whole, in South Korea, it was a very, very formidable ending to the trip. But overall, he was seen as not getting anything. And usually these kind of conferences or summits start with an agenda. And so he could come home with something, and he didn't really do that.
Let's talk about the agenda for Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. She flew in on a surprise trip to Afghanistan to attend the inauguration. What kind of message is she planning to send to President Hamid Karzai?
Well, she had called for, as the British had, for concrete steps to be mentioned in the inaugural speech. And that was President Hamid Karzai's second term, a very disputed election this past summer, and to make sure that he talked about human rights, about some kind of concrete strategy in terms of the way Afghanistan sees the possible exit strategy of U.S. troops, and then finally, to end the culture of corruption. And some people have called this a bizarre country mentality, not bizarre as in crazy, although it's a little bit hard to govern, but bizarre meaning a market, always something being given. And so first you had the corruption issue with Hamid Karzai's brother. Hitting the papers this week was the issue of a bid bribe for a contract, and he may very well be looking to emphasize the fact that there has been some corruption in the bidding process for reconstruction in Afghanistan. But for the most part, he has agreed to really address the issue of corruption in the government and try to change that so the United States has a better partner to deal with in this war.
All right, let's hope he does that. CBS News foreign affairs analyst Pamela Falk. Pam, thanks for being with us.
Sure, Michelle.